Welcome to Coach's Roundtable. I'm Ed Codi. To my right, the Swami George Abraham. To my left, the Tiger Albert Campman. Spotlight guys, Butler grad and Clarion University swimmer David Bocce named PSAC Swimmer of the Year. Bocce also received All-American honors at the PSAC Championships. He won the 200 butterfly. He was second in the 200 backstroke, third in the 100 fly, and a member of the winning 800 free relay team. And then Bocce finished 8th nationally in the 200 butterfly. He's expected to compete in the July 2024 Olympic trials. How about this? Also expected to compete in the 2024 Olympic trials is the Knockneck's monster, Jordan Geis, now at the University of Arizona, and the nation's #1 ranked shot putter. We could have two kids from our area here, 15 miles apart, headed to the Olympics.
That is exciting.
Isn't that amazing?
That's a goal that's unbelievable for two local kids.
Yes, tremendous.
Jeez.
Boys volleyball, shock and awe. For the first time in school history in over 30 years, the Butler boys defeated #1 ranked and defending WPIL and state champions North Allegheny 3-1 at Butler by scores of 25-20, 19-25, 25-22, and 25-22. Butler 2-1 will go for a season sweep May 3rd at North Allegheny. Think about the fact, and that's only NA's like 5th loss in the last 4 years.
Oh, yeah.
And I think this year Butler Wrestling beat NA for the very first time. What's next? Football?
They're still a while off on that
Yeah.
one. But the North Allegheny coach got out.
Yeah, it's a new coach. He's been there
And-
16 years.
And my thinking all the time is, that's why my mind works,
Yeah, why'd you get out?
why you get out.
Yeah.
I think the well was a little drier than
They
used
left.
to.
They lost. They lost 8
That's
players
what I think.
from
That's
last
what, that's
year.
what I really believe.
Yeah, but you can
Right.
tell from the scores.
Yeah.
That's why my mind works.
but
Like,
you know how close
if
those
you have a
games
team
were.
back to win a state championship,
Yeah.
I'll stay one more year.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, 5 losses in 4 years. Now, see, how does Butler handle this success? How does NA respond to this loss?
Well, really, that Butler has a loss, so somebody beat him.
Yes.
Yeah, they lost the game. I think they lost at Norwin.
And that's the point.
before this.
That's the point. You said that.
Yeah.
That it wasn't like Butler was a juggernaut. They already lost.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That tells you
already
NA's not near the team that they were.
Those scores were close.
Very close. PIAA basketball, girls 4A semis, Blackhawk 45, North Catholic 40. Blackhawk held the Trojanettes scoreless the last 3 minutes and 45 seconds of the game. Elena Rocco, she had 17. Tori Drevna with 12 to pace North Catholic. North Catholic finishes 25-4. Blackhawk lost the PIAA title game 53-45 to Lansdale Catholic. I think they beat Blackhawk 3 straight times this year before this game.
They had.
Yeah.
And Butler had pressed. Blackhawk had pressed them before. And
Had success
Coach Rodriguez
doing
goes,
it?
no.
No.
He said, we're hurting ourselves. We're leaving the court wide open.
Yeah.
He went and packed it in against North Catholic. You know, they
didn't-
love to go to the
didn't-
basket.
And they didn't hit their outside
They
shots.
love to go to the basket. You know how they scored on second
Yeah.
shots and go to the basket. They took
Yeah.
it away.
3 WPL teams won PIAA titles. The Union Girls of Newcastle, 46-29 over Lords in 1A. Lincoln Park Boys won the 4A title over Newman Goretti. How about Goretti came into that championship game 9-0
Yeah.
all-time in championship games. And Imani Christian Boys won the 1A championship. And as I watched some of the games, guys, they were before empty seats. Where are the fans?
no, they had
anymore?
20-some thousand.
Did they?
Yeah, yeah.
They spread it out.
No, they had 20-some
But I
thousand.
forget-
19,000 to 3 days. They averaged 6,000.
Is
Yeah,
that
they
what
had
it was?
27,000
That's
over day.
Don't
I mean,
forget that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm talking comparatively speaking,
Yeah.
they were
Yeah.
happy with
Yeah,
the
yeah.
attendance.
I think I was
It wasn't
watching a Union
No,
girls
they
game,
probably
and there
leave.
were a
Well,
lot of empty seats.
No, either they weren't there yet or they left. Remember,
Okay.
they do them in twos now.
All right.
No, you're right. No, you're both right. But I did see the numbers.
Now,
They were
right,
decent.
right behind the benches, you
Yeah.
saw, but
Yeah.
when they panned the air, there were
Wow,
so
the
many
place
empty
is too
seats.
big.
It's
What's
it's
it
also
hold?
big.
20,000?
No. I think 8
Hershey.
or 9.
Is that all it
I
holds?
think, yeah.
Boy, it looked a lot bigger than
But
that.
what I'm saying, still, 3,000 doesn't look big in there.
No.
Yeah.
And I remember before championship games when they played like in Pittsburgh, that
Yeah.
the
Packed
Civic,
house.
it was packed.
Yeah.
But see,
It
there were
was sold out.
towns.
There were towns, and
Then
you're
you
right.
got,
Now you have
you
these,
got the spaghetti warehouse. You got this. All these privates. They're not that large,
and they don't
and there's
draw
no
the
towns.
fans.
No,
Like it
the
used to
towns.
be.
Now you get Reading there.
Yeah.
You get Reading and Altoona, or you get somebody like that. But see, the way it is now, the West can't compete, so it's 2 Eastern teams.
Yeah,
anyway.
in the days when like Farrell was playing a Uniontown, you know there were 12,
No,
14,000
So
at
the whole
game.
town was there.
Yeah,
I
Civic
was-
Arena would be filled with 13,000.
And you know, used to televise the games. PBS.
Yes.
Channel 13.
Channel 13 did. Oh, yeah.
used to televise the
No,
games.
Yep.
Hey, high school football awards for the second straight year. Armstrong High School quarterback Caden Olson won the Willie Thrower Award, symbolic of Western Pennsylvania's top quarterback. Olson last season passed for 49 touchdowns, 3,200 yards, and for his career over 8,000 yards. He is a University of Pennsylvania recruit.
He made a good choice. We tried to tell other people. Remember who it was? Remember who it was? It was DiNucci.
Ben DiNucci.
We said,
Don't.
He didn't listen to
He
us.
was going to Penn. We said, don't stay
You
there.
know who the leading quarterback in the XFL is, don't you?
Who?
Ben DiNucci.
How about that?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir, baby.
You know, the reason we say that, and listen, fans, if you're Penn and you're good, the NFL knows.
Yeah,
You
no,
understand?
find out
They
about
don't
it.
say, okay,
No.
he goes to Penn. He's not.
No.
They'll take you. And proof is the Fitzpatrick. Or
Yeah.
He went to Ivy League school,
Harvard.
didn't he?
Yeah.
Yes.
And then the other day, one of the kids at Youngstown had a great pro day. They
McLaughlin,
know,
yes.
believe me.
And Olson's a terrific athlete. Averaged
Yes.
21 points a game in basketball.
Oh yeah, he opened.
He's
They
6'5".
spanked Grove City first game, and and my buddies told me, they said he's pretty good in basketball.
And he has that to fall back on, too. You understand? If he
Yes.
doesn't make it in football,
Got the piece
a
of
Penn
paper.
degree.
I think he's going to make it in football.
No, that was
and
the big
the
thing.
first winner of the Willie Thrower Award was Cole Spencer from
Yeah.
Pine Richland.
Yeah.
So it's a nice award in honoring Willie Thrower, the first black quarterback in a Power 5 school at Michigan State, and then drafted by the Chicago Bears. Let's go to our stories of the week. The Pirates open the season in Cincy against Cincinnati. Mitch Keller will start. Last season, Cincy started 2-23, but they overtook the Pirates, and the Pirates ended up in last place for the fourth straight year. Back-to-back 100-loss seasons hasn't happened since the 1950s, but the Pirates have already won because the team is valued now at $1.32 billion.
I saw that. You know,
That's unbelievable.
they were going to start Rich Hill, but he didn't get his oval team. He didn't get enough. So
What is
they're-
he, 68?
Yeah, he's
This is-
59. Yeah.
He's played for every team, including Japanese
The,
Yokohama Giants.
The Butler Yankees.
Butler Yankees. Hey, the Pirates never have won the Central, and for over 20
And they're
years,
not winning this year either.
and
Yeah,
for
I
over
could say
20
that right
years
now.
have never finished ahead of the Cardinals. In 20 years,
know.
you would think
Even
at
those
least
good teams are
once.
saying. Even the good teams the Pirates had, they
never
couldn't beat that
finished ahead of the Cardinals. So how do we look at this season? Excitement, indifference. How are you looking at it? I'm going to start with you. You're a baseball guy.
The
He
fans,
was a baseball
the
guy.
fans I have, the fans that are Pirate fans, that really think they're going to be a lot better. The people I talk to, I'm not one of them.
Yeah.
Because I look at their pitching staff. I still think their pitching staff's weak
Oh.
when it goes all year. Now, on paper, if you they're all healthy all year, now they're okay. Keller Roy came on.
Brubaker just went
I
out.
just said to you, they don't have any depth. So
here-
once they start getting hurt, I don't know who's going to pitch for them. I think their everyday lineup's better. I really do believe that. But their pitching just is not
And you
there.
mentioned the starting staff. They were 24-39 last year with an average ERA of 4.28. That has to improve dramatically for them to get better.
Their front line, as I said, they've got a little better, but they're not going to last. That's what I'm saying.
In the division, St. Louis, Milwaukee, Cubs really improved, and the Reds aren't going to start 2-21.
Now, over and under in 65 wins.
Over.
Under.
Under. I'm going to say a little bit over. I'm going to go with 67.
By the way,
I said last year I had
You're
them
be under right
100
now
wins.
because on the way up we're
it's
talking.
67.5.
It just went up.
Is it?
It went up
Yeah.
2.5.
No,
Wow.
they bet it up, Ed.
Well, we're
It goes
doing,
up for a
They were
reason.
thinking like you were right, Eddie.
Okay.
But you can middle them.
You can middle
Yeah.
70, you'd be safe.
Let's look at McCutcheon now. Over and under on 20 homers, 65 RBIs.
Under.
Under. Over and under, he creates 500 plus ticket sales per game.
Per game?
Per game.
So that's
No.
that's
Not per game.
40,000.
Does he
for
bring
the
in an
year.
extra 500? That's what the Pirates signed him for to boost the ticket. You think?
Yeah, right then.
I'd say
Early in the year,
yeah.
probably will. You're right. You're right.
Okay, now their best players, it's Brian Reynolds, if he's going to last this season, O'Neill Cruz, and watch him as long as you can before he becomes a Yankee, and David the Bull Bednar. Now, Bednar and Reynolds, two of their best players, Bednar and All-Star, chances of them being traded
Good
to a
chance.
contender?
Good
Oh,
chances.
July.
Good chance.
Hey, how about this? And just mentioning Major League Baseball, 8 starting pitchers on opening day, all Cy Young Award winners. Only one a 20-game winner, Kyle Wright.
Yeah, that's
So,
definitely
no,
changed.
that's out. That's out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not happening anymore.
If that's the criteria for the Hall of Fame, there will be no Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's why the criteria for the Hall of Fame is changing.
Yeah.
Drastically, because they can't go by numbers anymore.
No.
Yes.
Hey, and the over and under the a Pirate starter wins 12 games.
I think Keller will. I think Keller will win over 12.
He was 5 and 12 last
I think
year.
he really's come on. He came out at the end of the year really strong. I like Keller.
Yeah, I could do 12.
All right. I'm
Yeah.
on the edge.
Well,
here with
absolutely.
it.
Well, what have they showed you?
Yeah, I mean, and then
You watch.
Keller's 27. If he doesn't do it now, when's he going to do
He
it?
really came on last year. I really like
At the
him.
end.
At
the end.
You know, I was playing his strikeouts on FanDuel, winning every game.
He
It
came
was
on
See,
strong.
I'm not as big on strikeouts
I
as
know.
I once was because the more strikeouts than hits anymore.
Yeah. He was toward the end. He was striking them out.
Over and under and 1.5 million attendance.
That's right. That's going to be.
That's right.
That's right where it's going to be.
Right around
Right
there.
around there. Yeah.
That's
And anyone
18,000
going over?
That's 18,000 a game.
That's what-
I'd
I
say
think I'd say
it's-
right there.
It's a very good number.
Now, I'm going to bring up this issue. Joe Starkey writes a great column for the Post Gazette, and he wrote, how many years has Shohei Ohtani been in the majors? 4 years? 5? He now calls him the GOAT of baseball based on what he did in the World Baseball Championship. So I'm going to object.
Hold course a little bit.
Object vigorously. Not so fast, Joe. He is a great player and a power hitter. But let's talk about the real GOAT, George Herman Ruth, Babe Ruth. Let me run this down.
Well, he was talking about GOAT all time.
Yeah, he's calling Ohtani the
Wait.
GOAT of all time after 4 years.
Oh, I thought you was GOAT now.
No, the 4 years.
Oh, jeez.
Okay, now
He's been drinking.
here's Babe, 714 career home runs, season high, we all know 60. Career RBIs, 2,204. Now, how about this? Major League Baseball, they're so subjective. His first 5 years, 1950, they won't count as RBIs.
know.
Now, does that make sense? Okay.
Yeah, well, you got me. I was going to say, I jumped on Ohtani's
You started
back.
to come around.
No, I think he's fantastic.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I do too.
No, fantastic. I just said it on the show this
What,
week.
you need 5 more years?
But I'm saying
Yeah.
he needs to play and play and
Yeah.
play. But the stats that Babe puts up as a
Yeah.
pitcher, they're forgetting the pitcher stats.
Wow.
Yeah.
You understand?
Now, his season high RBI is 171.
Well, where do you put the fact no black players? No money.
You have to put that into something.
Well,
It
I
has
put
to
Josh
count for
Gibson
something.
in there.
Yeah.
I put him in there.
But as
one
I
of the
say all the
greatest of
time,
all
He
time.
didn't play against them.
But I'll
No,
say the
no,
best
yeah.
players, though, the very best players were playing baseball.
Yeah.
The very best players don't
No,
play
no,
basketball.
no, no,
Yeah,
no,
they
yeah.
golf, they
Right.
basketball.
And
they
here's
do
the other
things.
thing. People talk. I said they didn't play in they didn't have air conditioned dressing rooms. They traveled on train. They played in 90-degree heat weather
Wool uniforms.
during the day with wool uniforms.
They did.
No, Bruce's career batting average 342, season high 394. His
Yeah,
pitching
that's impressive.
His pitching record 94 and 46 with an ERA of
I know what he
2.28.
did. He's my favorite player ever.
He won 24 games one season. How about this? He had the World Series record for consecutive shutout innings of 29 and 2/3 innings that lasted for 46 years until Whitey Ford beat it by going
How old is this
33
Joe
and
Starkey?
2/3.
He's 50.
Yeah, in other words, he don't know what he's talking about. So I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know if I'm Adam.
Yeah.
When he's
He
saying
writes a column. He's
Ohtani's not even the top 10 of all time. You
Yeah.
understand?
Not yet.
Yeah, not
He's
yet.
still got Hank Aaron.
No, yes.
Willie Mays.
I'm saying let him go 6, 7 more years of
Yeah,
doing this.
if he does what he's doing,
Yeah, I'll give him his
fair,
due.
because
Now he's not a good average hitter. He's
No.
not a good
I'll
average
give him his
hitter.
due, though. I'll give him his due 7 more years down the road.
Yeah, he's an outstanding player. Now, here's the other thing about Ruth. He's an outstanding defensive
He's
outfielder.
outstanding everything.
Cannon arm. All right.
See, I'm telling you what
End of
happened with Ruth.
discussion.
I'm gonna tell you what happened with Ruth. This is true. William Bendix played him in a movie.
Yeah.
And anybody that's under a certain age thinks that's what he looked like.
Yeah.
He was 6'2", 190.
Yes. Yeah, at
Ruth
the end.
was 6'3", 240.
Well, at the end.
At the end.
Yeah, he was big. He was strong. Hey, I rest my case, and we start this
There's not even a
baseball
case there.
season. I'm going to give a shout out for Danny Murtaugh once again, neglected by Major League Baseball.
I'm on your way over that.
One of the best managers
I'm
of
on
all
your way.
time.
I've tried
One of
this
the
on
best.
Twitter. I've tried to get. We had Kurt Flood Jr. on the radio because he wants to get his father in there for his contribution.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't seem to have. There aren't enough people
Aren't
around.
there any managers in the Hall of Fame that won one?
DeRocher.
There's one right there. Okay.
Earl Weaver.
Okay.
And what's his name for the Dodgers? One
Sorta.
Lasorda won
Okay.
too. All right, let's go to March Madness or March Insanity. First time ever, no number one seed in the Elite Eight. 3 teams first trip to the Final Four: Miami, San Diego State, and Florida Atlantic. Miami, nice to have a booster like John Ruiz, who pays one of their star players $400,000 a year plus a new car in the name's image and likeness. Mm-hmm. So you're going to have Miami 29-7 versus UConn, who's won 6 titles. San Diego State versus Florida Atlantic. And who do you like winning these games?
Man, it sure looks like UConn's an easy pick. I mean, the way the teams are playing.
It blew Gonzaga out.
They blown everybody out.
Yeah,
And,
15 points is I think the.
But they have a shortcoming. If they shoot poorly, you understand? That's true for everybody, really. But they lost 6 games in a row during the middle of the season.
Now they played a team as physical as Miami.
Yes. So
Yeah,
the Big East.
Have they?
Yeah,
the
I
Big
think
East.
Marquette.
Creighton?
Marquette.
The Big East
Marquette.
is really,
Okay.
really good.
I'm gonna pick Miami in an upset
I hope
here.
you're right.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go with Florida Atlantic. They are physical. They're very physical.
Not as physical as San Diego State.
No.
No.
No, San Diego State, they'll beat you up in a
That's
in a
slaughter ball
second.
there. That's an under. That 132. That's an under. I'm
Now-
gonna tell you right now.
As I'm watching March Madness, I'm thinking college football playoffs can't match the excitement and drama of March Madness, nor the diversity of teams like Furman beats Virginia, Princeton over Arizona, Florida Atlantic over Tennessee. The Kansas State-Michigan State game was terrific, and the UCLA-Gonzaga game, UCLA up by 15. Gonzaga comes back to go by 9. UCLA goes ahead. Then they just missed the shot at the end. The college football playoffs, it's the same old every year except for a TCU.
But
It's
if you
snuck in
had
there.
16 teams,
Yeah.
there'd be a chance.
There's
no chance with 4.
But you still think it would change between Georgia and Alabama and Ohio
It's not
State.
changing.
That's what I'm
But
saying.
thered be a chance. There's 4
They
teams.
go to 12
there's
pretty soon, right?
Yeah.
They're going to 12 in 2025.
Yep. Maybe
Something like that.
24.
Well, the proof of the matter is Vegas is the place you look at. By far, the biggest moneymaker now, by far, the first week of March Madness.
yes.
The blows before the Super Bowl was here and everything else was here.
Yeah.
March Madness now blows the Super
Yeah,
Bowl.
they travel out
The
there.
games
Destination.
are just
Hey,
terrific.
blue bloods and new bloods.
Yes.
It's different.
You talk about pressure in the line. I'm watching these games, and these guys come into the foul line with the game on the line and 25 or whatever, 30,000 screaming fans. I don't think in any other sport you have this kind of pressure. Look at Darian Trammell, San Diego State. It's 56-56. He misses the first one. Now the pressure, how's it ratchet up now?
Oh, yeah.
And he makes the second one. If he misses that second one, he has to live with that for the rest of his life.
That's a good point. There's so many games. That's why they're crying on the sideline. They're thinking about the one play they could have made.
Yeah.
That changed the whole game around. That's all it takes. One play.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, Florida Atlantic, Joel George, they lost to Memphis. If a referee calls a jump ball, a timeout, they don't get out of the first round. They lose.
And someone said to me, how does Florida Atlantic get there? I said, you know what's going on in Florida the last 30 years? The population explosion, this colleges and universities that started off maybe at Division II. I think Slippery Rock played some of them in football.
Who knows Central Florida is the largest school? No one.
No one does. And they just grown and will continue to grow.
Florida's way Western Pennsylvania was when we were growing up.
Yes,
You understand?
absolutely.
Everybody recruited like crazy.
You have to
now everybody
recruit.
just goes into Florida and Texas, California, gets all
You
the
know the
players.
D3s rather. They just take a car and spend a week.
Yeah, they'll get the lower level Florida players. Yes,
Absolutely.
Let's move on to the NFL. The Steelers' offensive line now becomes Philadelphia West. The Steelers add a third former Eagles offensive lineman in signing offensive tackle Raven Clark. Goes along with guards Isaac Samalu and Nate Herbig. Steelers assistant GM Andy Weidel from Mount Lebanon worked long time GM with the Eagles, so he has his handprints all over this. So how do these offensive line signings impact on a draft in your mind?
Well, I got to give the Steelers credit. At least they knew where the weakness was.
Yeah, they.
So so they went out and at least
Proved
they
it.
did it. At least they're trying to at least. No. So now that tells you it's going to be a defensive back or a defensive lineman. That's what I think. That's where it's going to go.
It makes sense. Hey, give them credit. Like you said, they looked 63 sacks or penalties or
Right.
whatever. And they got to get rid of the guy.
Yes.
Give them credit for that.
Yeah, I do. I think they built up
They
the
try at
weakness
least.
there.
That's all you can do is give it a
So
attempt.
now I think you look at where you weak. You need a cornerback.
Yes.
And you
Everyone
need,
needs-
you
That's
need
gonna be one
a
of the top.
defensive end.
Yeah. What about inside linebackers?
Okay, well they did sign 2, but they need depth now. Bud Dupree was cut by Tennessee. Injury plagued 2 years, never lived up to the money they paid him.
Made a pound
Do
money.
you want to sign him as a
Depends how much
backup?
money he has.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
all. It's all based on contracts now, Eddie. Can you
Oh, absolutely.
can you sign
Well-
somebody? You know?
Well, then my question is, how do you like Baltimore with Lamar Jackson? How do you pay him what he wants and have enough money left
don't.
over to fill your other holes?
That's the part he doesn't understand. I know they're saying
That's
it to
the
him,
part he doesn't
Lamar,
care about.
I know he doesn't. But Lamar, we could sign you. But you said you want some wide
Be
receivers.
playing with your neighbor.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. You'll have no team to play with if we give you that money.
Yeah.
And their draft last year was mind-boggling. They didn't draft any wide receivers, and
they're-
they lost
no.
their best receiver, Brown.
You know, they haven't drafted any since he's been
When they
there.
have 19 tight ends on the
In
team.
his defense, they haven't drafted any since he's been there.
And that's they have to really think this situation out, what direction they're going to go.
They did draft Bateman
Some
from
point.
Minnesota, who they thought was going to be a big timer.
Yeah, he just-
but he
but he
didn't turn out as
And
good
they
as
grabbed someone from Tennessee, didn't they? Grab
Yes,
somebody?
yes.
Hey, Terrell Edmonds, he signs with the Eagles. I don't know if
Okay.
that's that.
That was a good. I'm glad he's gone.
He's more of a rover linebacker.
Yes, he's a hitter, not a coverer. I want somebody back there.
They
that's
should have
gonna
moved
cover.
him up to a rush
Yeah,
outside
I'm glad he's gone.
linebacker.
I'm glad he's gone.
All right, NFL rule changes. Punts and kickoffs, touchbacks are talking about moving them from the 20 to the 25. The reduced injuries, they say, by 20 to 25%. But what to do about punts? Most injuries occur here. You want to eliminate the returns. Or how about, this is my idea, no punting inside the 50. You have to go for it. Unless
I would
it's-
love that rule, Eddie.
unless it's the last 2 minutes of the first half, last 2 minutes of the
they're
game.
not, but they're not running those ones back. You
put 'em in the
understand?
end
In
zone,
other
or
words,
they
if
fair
those
catch
are
it.
the ones,
Right,
yeah.
but I'm
they're
just
worried-
saying,
yeah.
you take
Good
the
point.
kick away.
Absolutely.
But except for the last 2 minutes of each of the half.
I think George threw a wrench into that. You're right, George.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they're
They don't
not the
return
ones they
those kicks,
return.
yeah.
Well, but they try to punt him into
Yeah, they
the
do,
corners.
they do,
and-
yes.
or high-
They do a
but-
terrible
but-
job of that.
But anyhow, you just
Common
get
core,
rid-
the punters have no idea what that is
Right
anymore.
between the S and T and Steelers.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I
could you move it
I
a
make
little
fun of them all the time. From the 40-yard, they punt it right over the goal
right
post.
down the middle.
Hey, now here's one I don't understand. They're talking about hip drop tackles have a 20% higher injury rate. The running back for Dallas broke his leg last year on a hip drop. How do you change this?
You don't.
You're having trouble
You
with
don't.
helmets. A helmet
You
is.
don't.
What part of the body do you tackle then?
It's football.
Yeah.
That's all I can tell them. There are going to be injuries when you're 6'3",
Yeah.
255,
4'4".
and running 4'4".
In
There's
a
going to be
small
injuries.
area. In a small area. Like, of all the things that have happened over the last 100 years, what hasn't changed? The size of the field.
Well, I'm going to say this eventually, and I've said this before. I know it sounds radical. They will eliminate punt returns.
Oh, that
Period.
That could be.
Well, if they're looking for safety, the way your stats says they
That's
have to.
brutal. You
Yeah.
ever been on a punt team in high school or college?
Oh, you get
Yeah,
blindsided.
I've been blasted, bombed.
The other thing the new league does on an onside kick, because there's potential for danger there, you can go for 4th and 15.
Right. Or, the other thing you do is you get rid of the gunners. You take them out of the equation. Everyone has to be packed
Good
in
idea
tight.
too, Eddie.
I mean, there are things they can do. I hate to see them get rid of the punt return, but
Yeah.
you keep looking at the injuries and you wonder, what are they going to
You
do?
wonder how much of it is window dressing for 20 years down the road lawsuits.
Absolutely.
Where it appears
Say
that
we
they're-
did our best.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, let's go to the Pen. 73 games. They've played 36, 27, and 10. They're in fifth place, a point behind the Islanders. I have no idea what this team's identity is except inconsistency. They did beat Washington 4-3 on a Malkin goal. 9 games to play, and it looks like it's going to come down to the final game. Here's who they have left. They have Detroit coming up this week, then Nashville. Nashville winning record. Then the Bruins, 57-11. The Flyers, at home. They go to New Jersey, 46-19-8. Home with Minnesota, 42-22-9, and then 3 duds at the end, all with losing records.
That helps.
Detroit,
That
Chicago,
helps.
and
Need to go
Columbus.
6. I got them 6-3. If they get those last, that would be what they would need.
They should win those last
Yeah.
3. They should beat Detroit.
That's important.
Twice. They could go 7 into trouble.
But that's
of course.
where they let you down. I hear you guys all the time, and right when you think like that they're going to, something goes wrong. Now they'll get in or
Yeah.
whatever, or right at you say, well, they should beat so and so.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago they were 7-1. Then they lost four straight. It's just up
It's a team
and
they have.
down with them.
My thoughts are this, though, that I watched the Penguins. I'm not a super fan, but more than normal. Nobody wants to play them. Do you understand? When they get in the playoffs, they are dangerous.
They are dangerous.
I didn't say they're going to win. No,
But
but there's
they're
nobody saying,
dangerous
"Oh, we
because
got
of-
an easy one here." They got
because of the
Crosby,
big
Malcolm.
three.
That's what I'm saying.
And Letang.
Gensel, Letang. And they're still saying this is pretty.
And for the 4th straight year, you're right. Crosby named the National Hockey League's most complete player by
He
his
is.
peers.
But he
That's
is.
quite an honor
It is.
to be voted by your own peers.
Absolutely.
Hey guys, let's finish with this. The Pirates TV broadcast news. Nothing definitive at this point. The Pirates said games will be broadcast. Things are up in the air. Major League Baseball said that the Pirates don't have a solution. They will take it over. Let's hope they find a solution.
Or they go back to where I grew up, on the porch,
Radio.
put the radio on and say, "Oh, this is a great night for baseball." Yeah, these young folks say, "Wait, a radio? What's that?"
Hey, I want to mention the passing of two outstanding players. New York Knicks great Willis Reed at the age of 80. What a great
I
player
can still
he
see him
was.
limping onto the floor.
Yes. And Yankee first baseman Joe Pepitone dead at 82.
He was a little wild child.
He was a wild child back in the heyday of the Yankees.
Yeah, he was.
Exciting times. Hey, that's it for us. We run out of time. We'll see you next week.
Armstrong has been a part of Butler County since 1963. We helped you get online with Zoom Internet. Our Breaking Bread program began fighting hunger in our communities. Enhanced Wi-Fi delivered coverage, security, and control of your network. Zoom Extreme brought internet speeds up to 1 gig to the community. And in 2022, Armstrong was named CableFact's Independent Operator of the Year for the 2nd time. When you support Armstrong, you're supporting your local community.
How do you choose the smart home and security system that's right for your family? The answer is Guardian Protection, a fully integrated system so that all your smart home and security devices work together, like smart locks, smart lights, doorbell cameras, video cameras, and more. And with advanced artificial intelligence technology, Guardian Protection creates a smarter, safer home for you, all controlled from one single app. The right choice for your family.
Business Pro Wi-Fi from Armstrong Business Solutions is more than just Wi-Fi. It enhances productivity, tightens security, and is tailor-made for small business. Take control over guest networks with a branded portal, protect sensitive data, and manage staff with the WorkPass app. Business Pro Wi-Fi gives you customer insight, turning analytics into opportunities. Get a fully connected business intelligence platform in the palm of your hand. Business Pro Wi-Fi from Armstrong Business Solutions.